Hello, Professor Guevara. My name is Denise Romero. I am in your ICS 7 class at 10 o'clock from Tuesdays to Thursday. My group was Group A, and we did our presentation on Portuguese culture. My section was on the population and the demographics. So as of 2010, the population in the Santa Clara Valley was 1,781,642. And of that population, 1.5 or 28,205 people claimed Portuguese ancestry. That's 0.9% statewide and 0.445% nationwide. So the Portuguese population within the Santa Clara Valley expanded because of three major waves of Portuguese immigrants. So the first wave occurred because of the gold rush. And so young single Portuguese male, and married Portuguese men that were trying to strike it rich and make money to bring their families were jumping whaling ships or just about any ship they can catch so that they can come to this country. And these men some of them stayed in Southern California for the fishing, but many of them came to the Central Valley and Santa Clara Valley in particular because of the rich agriculture. And so they were working on farms and on dairies and doing construction to make enough money to send back for their loved ones. So from 1880 to 1922, the second major wave occurred, and these new immigrants were the family members of the first wave. The first wave had finally made enough money to bring the second wave in, and this group of people, although they were still poor and still primarily uneducated, they were making more money, and they finally were able to achieve the American dream, which was to own land. So this population was also forming tight-knit communities to preserve their culture, and one of the main ways that they could do that was through religion. The Portuguese population is heavily Catholic, and within the Santa Clara Valley, they began forming parishes. In 1914, the Five Wounds Parish was formed and in 1916, the Portuguese population in San Jose began constructing Five Wounds Church after they purchased some land in 1913. In July of 1919, the church was finally constructed, and that was a major cornerstone for the rich Portuguese population within this county. In 1917, the Portuguese population suddenly stopped expanding because President Woodrow Wilson enforced a law in which there would be a literacy test for new immigrants coming into the country. And since 80% of the Portuguese population coming in was uneducated, it was hard for them to pass the test, so the admittance rate went down very low. But in 1964, the ban on this immigration quota was lifted after President Kennedy signed a bill in 1963 before his death. And the third wave of Portuguese immigrants started coming in the 60s and 70s. And although more immigrants continue to come in now, this was the last big wave that occurred. And this new wave was coming in not just for the economic opportunities as they did before, but also because of the educational opportunities that were offered here.